Tonight on CTV3 News, Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa speaks on alleged rape report in Punta Gorda involving a 15-year-old minor and a police officer attached to the domestic violence unit. An update in the sugar industry. Things do not look when it comes to the delivery of cane and sugar industry. To the delivery of cane, that is, and the production of sugar. So are we looking at a bad crop? We'll tell you. Principals of tertiary level institutions meet in Corozal, and data from the World Health Organization cites that the leading cause of death in men in Belize is that they are killing each other. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, April 18th, 2024.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
The April sale is now at Cellular World. Enjoy massive savings store-wide and take your luck when you get a chance to get cash back with our Scratch and Win Tickets giveaway. Ask about our unbeatable low prices guaranteed with budget phones starting as low as $49. Android starter phones starting at an all-time low price of just $115. Redmi gaming phones starting at $359. Samsung A series lead offers starting at just $269. Fully backed up by 1-year local warranty. Plus, the newly added ZTE, Infinix, Logic, and Techno smartphones now available countrywide. But that's not all. We've got you covered with something for everyone. Kids tablets, smart TVs, speakers, headphones, and earbuds, gaming consoles, smartwatches, accessories, and so much more. Visit any of our stores in Belize City, Belmopan, San Pedro, and now in Orange Walk to start shopping today. Or shop with us via our virtual store through Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp at 615-5141. Don't miss out. We got the deal for you.
As I look out on the audience, I see many of the artists whose works are represented in this first display. My respect to each of you for contributing to Belize's creative and intellectual inheritance. I also offer my admiration and respect to those artists represented in the museum who have passed on. Their work lives on as sources of inspiration and education. And for the many hundreds of artists who are not in the first show, I say that it is not our intention to develop a culture of exclusion or gatekeeping. Just the opposite. We see this space as one of liberation.
Introducing Max, the one to watch. When you want the best content and an enhanced experience. Starting February 27, if you have HBO, you'll have access to Max.
a member of the police department. As we reported on Wednesday, a 29-year-old police officer is under interdiction after being accused of raping a 15-year-old boy. It happened in Punta Gorda, where the male student went to the police station with his mother to report that 29-year-old sexual relations with him early on Sunday morning. The case is aggravated by the fact that the heinous act reportedly occurred inside the police station in Punta Gorda, and the accused officer was assigned to the Domestic Violence Unit office. The matter, according to Minister Musa, will be thoroughly investigated to rule out the involvement of others within the department in PG.
Because, like you rightly said, if it is happening at a police station, then of course there might be other officers who have knowledge, and so that is certainly going to be a part of the investigation that is currently being carried out. But I join the Commissioner of Police in expressing the fact that I am extremely disturbed by this kind of news coming out of Punta Gorda by a police officer. Again, the people of this country have trust and confidence in a police department to protect us, to serve us, to keep us safe, not to be doing these kinds of things. And I know the argument can be made that we cannot control every single human being and what they are going to be doing, but this certainly is a black eye on the department, and this certainly needs to be dealt with very stiffly.
The police officer, as we mentioned, has been arrested and charged for unnatural crime and is currently behind bars at the Kobe Correctional Facility. He is scheduled to return to court in June of this year. The 2023-2024 sugarcane crop season here in the north is currently on week 16 since the start of the crop back in December of last year. This year's crop season undoubtedly got off to a bumpy start between the millers and the largest cane farmer association, the BSCFA, as they were at odds over the signing of a long-term commercial agreement. That situation was rectified in early January, giving way for the full start of the crop season almost 10 days after its official start. As the crop season progresses, however, the industry is facing another problem, which comes in the form of decreased cane quality, coupled with a decrease in the amount of cane being delivered to the mill when compared to last year. As of April 17th, deliveries to the mill stood at just over 629 tons. This represents about 50% of the total estimate, which was expected at the start of the crop season.
As an update for the present crop, 23-24, as of April 17, 6 a.m., which was yesterday, which corresponds to the 111 days of crop. The total tons delivered up to April 17, 6 a.m. in the morning accounts for 629,941 tons of a production estimate with which the amount of cane with which we started the crop as a production estimate, which is 1,191,000 tons. So that tells us that we are just a little over the 50%, 51% of the total production. In terms of the mill performance, the mill has been milling at a rate of average rate for the entire 111 days at an average rate of 262 tons per hour, which translates to 6,300 tons per day. The target of the crop was 6,800 tons per day. So you can appreciate that we are below the target.
From the cane delivered, the mill has been able to produce a total of 62,560 tons of sugar under a TCTS of 10.6, a figure far beyond the target for the season, according to Chairman of the Sugar Industry Control Board, Marcos Osorio.
In terms of sugar production, plantation white sugar, which is our local sugar, the production is at 9,024 tons. Brown sugar, which is also labeled or termed as the DC sugar, direct consumption sugar, we are at 20,290 tons. And raw sugar, we are at 33,250 tons for a total production from the 629,941 tons of 62,564 tons of sugar. The tons cane to ton sugar ratio, which we term the TCTS, is at 10.06. We are still far from the target. And then the purity, and I think I want to make emphasis in this point of the purity. The purity is below what it should be on a good crop year at this time of the year when canes are at the peak maturity, when we are achieving the best quality, but it is not happening this crop around because we are below what presently we are at 83.97% of purity when we should be doing better than 85% at this particular juncture of the crop, month of April. So that is telling us that there are problems, and it could be attributed more than likely is a field problem where
By association, estimates are showing that farmers of the BACFA are currently lagging behind in deliveries, mainly due to the 10-day delay which they saw at the start of the season.
In terms of deliveries by association, we also may recall that the BACFA started delivering cane 9 or 10 days after the start of the crop. So BACFA deliveries at this point, by the 111 days of crop so far, BACFA deliveries stand at 50% of their production estimate or of the total cane delivered. Progressive Sugarcane Producers Association is at 53% of the total cane delivered to date. Corozal Sugarcane Producers Association is at 54%. Northern Sugarcane Growers Association is at 57%. And then BSI, with their CGP program, they are at 56%. So we can see that BACFA is lagging behind by 3% when compared to Progressive, but when we compare it to Northern Sugarcane Growers Association, which are at 57%, then it's a 7% difference. But also important to mention that, well, BACFA accounts for the larger production. So we are hopeful that even above the challenges of cane cutters and that are being faced by all the harvesting groups, we are hopeful that BACFA can maintain their deliveries, their cane supply, their cane preparation, and that we can improve and see a good come to an end of the crop.
As we head into the month of May with only about 50% of the production estimate met, Osorio says the industry is in real trouble if changes are not seen in the fields immediately.
Then in terms of, so we're saying that we are at about 52% of cane delivered based on the production estimate. So we are yet to harvest the remaining 48%, which represents about 550,000 tons more of cane to harvest. And at the present milling rates, To be able to deliver an additional 500,000 tons, the crop would need to extend all the way to the first week of July. That is if the rains or the weather do not change drastically. But if we start experience rains or in May or even in June, that will impact the entire harvesting operation, and it may keep us far from the target of maybe reaching 1,150,000 tons of cane delivered to being in a worse situation. And also along with, once we start experiencing rains, then we know that the cane quality will be affected because of high mud levels. And given the present TCTS of 10.06, it is looking very difficult to be able to improve that TCTS to below 9 or 9.75. Because we are now approaching May, and if we get rains in May, then the TCTS will become very challenging to keep it below 10%. If at this time we have not been able to achieve below 10 TCTS, then the situation will simply worsen going forward. Then,
with potentially only 2 months of dry weather left in this season, Osorio says that farmers must work together to improve the quality of cane being delivered to the mill so as to ensure better production and, in terms, better payment at the end of the season.
So it is important that all members that form a test group to exercise good harvesting practices to ensure that they can achieve the best quality possible. At this time, we have one test group of one of the associations that is very low in their quality. Maybe at this point they are not noticing it, or they may not see the magnitude of it, but I am sure that comes second payment after the end of the crop. It is at that time that those farmers that make up that test group will realize what the quality of their test group represents in terms of dollars and cents. We would want that every farmer and every test group achieve the best quality possible. And I think in this particular test group, there is a lot of work that needs to be done to ensure that good practices are being employed for burning, for harvesting, loading, and unloading, so that I think they still have an opportunity to improve a little on their quality, but it takes the effort of each and every harvesting group. So I want to urge them to please monitor your quality. We are providing quality results as by test group as their test is completed. So today, the SCPC have improved on their reporting, and we are sharing this information to all test groups, associations, and so that they can know what's happening, how was their quality of their previous delivery, and for them to be able to say, you know what, we are not doing a good job in our harvesting, we need to improve, but it takes the leader of the association, it takes the harvest group leader, and also the farmer to look after his own business.
Farmers are also being encouraged to carry out responsible burning practices by burning only the amount of cane required for your daily delivery and burning only after 6 p.m.
Overall, the crop, I can say, has not been a good crop so far. We have the quality issues. We have the fires at this time of the year, it happens every year. And I think it is important for farmers, when they go to burn their cane, to ensure that their fire lines are clean, and also that no burning should be taking place during the day. All burnings should be happening beyond the 6 p.m. Hour, so that it is it is better managed. But burning, for example, the fire in the Libertad area of last week, that that field was set on fire around 9 in the morning. So I want to call on all farmers. We need to be more responsible for those that are lacking. We need to be more responsible, and we cannot accept nor much less agree for anyone to go and set fire during the day, and much less 9 in the morning, 11 or midday or 2 o'clock. That is unacceptable. And the worst thing is that you affect other farmers, and then it's really unjust for other farmers to lose because of your negligence, because of your irresponsibility. So I want to call on association leaders, on harvest group leaders, and the farmers to let us exercise good burning practices, have enough water with you when you go to set fire, and do not burn before 6 in the evening.
Around the world, more than 180 countries recognizes the work that the World Health Organization carries out year-round, who guides its operations and task forces by data, and this is one of the main reasons it invests time and money in knowing what is happening in each country in order to respond to the health needs of its people. The data made available begins with noting that by 2020, Belize had a population of 394,921 persons. As per the information made public on the WHO website, while 100% of all deaths were registered through the official departments, only 96% of births did the same. The report proves that Belizeans now have a longer change at life at birth when marking the comparison of data from the year 2000 and 2019 from 70.3 years to now 74.4 years. It is a positive note since worldwide life expectancy at birth is at 73.3 years. Belize has a GDP per capita of 4,917 USD. The country spends 6% of its GDP on its health sector. But not all is good news on the report by the World Health Organization, especially when it refers to death. In females, heart disease seems to be the leading killer, while diabetes takes on as the second leading cause of death, and breast cancer counts for 11 deaths per 100,000 population. For male deaths, men are responsible for the killing of men in Belize and is the leading cause, while heart disease takes on as the second killer in the country. Interestingly, cirrhosis of the liver is the least cause of death. However, mind you, the abuse of alcohol is destructive to one's health regardless of gender. More information by countries is available on the World Health Organization's data page online. Swift police work and cooperation has led to the recovery of a Toyota Hilux that was stolen from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. According to police, 2 males, an adult and a minor, were seen leaving in the Hilux from the Western Regional Hospital in Belmopan around midnight last night. The GPS tracker was activated, which showed its location to be somewhere in Petén, Guatemala. Law enforcement authorities in Benquevejo del Carmen and their counterparts in Petén worked closely together to locate and retrieve the vehicle. Officer commanding Benquevejo Police coordinated with Guatemalan police authorities and, through their good working relationship, recovered the stolen Hilux and returned it to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Coming up next, we take you to Corozal, where educators meet to discuss the tools and strategies to improve the quality of education in Belize. Stay tuned.
Gran baile de verano, gran baile de verano. Yo a ti te comparo como una antena parabólica. Gran baile de verano en Belice se presenta desde la hermana República de El Salvador, la internacional Sonora Dinamita. La parabólica, la parabólica, la parabólica, la parabólica. La Internacional Sonora Dinamita.
Qué lindo es tu cucú, tan bello tu cucú, redondito y suavecito.
Viernes 3 de mayo en el People Stadium, Orange World, alternando con el conjunto del momento, Super Furia. Puertas abren a las 7 de la noche. Caballeros, $30 beliceños. Señoritas, $20 beliceños. Te esperamos en el Estadio del Pueblo. La Internacional Sonora Dinamita y el conjunto del momento, Super Furia. No puedes faltar.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
One day, we decided to gather everyone who loves The Last of Us in one place. The naked and afraid fans, and well, everyone who loves realities. The ones who don't like spoilers, and the ones who do. And those who love Barbie and Peppa Pig. That place is called Max. Well, it's not an actual place. It's on your screens, and there's room for everyone. Max is here to bring you more of the stories that you love. Max, the one to watch.
Our legacy isn't how many commas we have in our bank account. It's who we're lucky enough to have in our lives and what we can leave them with.
Henry, remind me again why we can't put you in a gifted school.
Because it's better for my psychosocial development for me to interact with a peer group in a normal school environment.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Susan? I guess I could just set you up with direct deposit if that's easier.
I don't know. I'll have to ask Henry.
You have to ask your 11-year-old?
Did our financial statement come in the mail today?
Yeah, I forgot to give it to you.
I don't know how you do it all by yourself.
Come on, I have Henry. Find me another male of the species who's more grown up than him.
I'd like to.
This story, it's about me, my brother, my mom, and the girl who lived next door.
Henry and Peter, they're lucky to have you.
And your father's lucky to have you too.
Stepfather. You okay? I'm good.
Mom, I have to tell you something, and it's very important. Christine is in trouble. When someone hurts someone else, we have to make it better. There's only one way to stop it. I'd hope to do it all myself, but that's not an option.
There has to be another way to help Christina. Why there's no way to help.
Mr. Sickleman is the police commissioner. I'm not going to subject him to public scrutiny without conclusive evidence.
Okay, let's do this.
Mom, everything you need is right here. I'll be with you the whole time.
I know what you've done. Henry documented all of it.
Who do you think they're gonna believe?
It can't be left undone. No matter what, don't panic.
I'm not panicking.
We have to make it better.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Smith, and I'm here to introduce OneLink Mobile. OneLink Mobile is not just an app, it's a future way of payments in Belize. It's easy, it's fast, you can download it right now. Guys, if you don't believe me, let me pass you on to the lovely Miss Gomez, who can tell you a little bit more about the app.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. At Heritage Bank, our vision is to become the premier financial institution with cutting-edge technology that simplifies the financial life of our customers. The inception of OneLink Mobile aligns perfectly with this vision. We're excited about this strategic partnership because OneLink Mobile ensures each transaction is safe and private. Our joint efforts will put a powerful, user-friendly financial tool in the hands of the public. We feel that OneLink Mobile makes banking convenient like never before. By linking your debit or credit card, you can make payments to merchants and other OneLink users anywhere. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Anthony.
Thank you, Miss Gomez, for those great insights about OneLink Mobile. Now I want to pass you on to Mr. Sydney, who's an entrepreneur that's been using the OneLink Mobile.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sidney Perifit. I'm a licensed tour guide and also a construction consultant, among other things. And I want to tell you about OneLink Mobile. It is going to be a cash app that is going to revolutionize the way we make payments here in Belize. You can receive payments from abroad with just a click. So no longer do you have to wait for deposits. When you're booking tours, clients can pay you from their home. Also, in every other aspect, locally, you can make payments to each other face-to-face from the comfort of your own home. No longer do you have to transact with cash, worry about money wiring, etc. All of this is going to be in the palm of your hand. OneLink is going to revolutionize the way we do payments here. All right, back to you, Anthony.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sydney. Guys, if you don't have OneLink Mobile, get it right now, guys. It's free. You can download it right now. It's going to change the way how you pay in Belize. It's the future of Belize, guys.
The Belize Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, known as the BAPS, elected a new executive committee in October last year. The organization is poised at making sure principals are equipped with the knowledge and skills that would offer higher quality education to its students. Today, in an effort to continue walking towards that path, a 2-day principals conference began in San Roman Corozal. Our team was there, and here is that report.
The Belize Association of Principals of Secondary Schools met today at the Escuela Secundaria Técnica Mexico, located in the village of San Roman Corozal, for a 2-day conference titled Transformative Education, Leading Change Through Strategic Planning Reform. The day began with a formal program that saw the participation of Minister Francis Fonseca, who has the portfolio of education at the government level. Chair of BAPS, Deborah Domingos, spoke about what the event means for principals.
Well, today we are focusing on transformative education with a specific focus on leading change through strategic planning and policy reform. We are at a critical time in our education system, and so as principals we really need to get together and to ensure that we are supportive, that we are understanding of the vision and the direction in which we are moving. beside doing the business end of it, there is a part of the conference that involves enjoying the best of what Corozal has to offer. And the opportunity to reflect, I think, is probably one of the most important aspects. Like everything in education, there's the only way you can truly improve is by looking at what is ahead, what you've done, assessing where you are, and deciding on the best way forward. And so this gives us an opportunity to reflect on where we are, from whence we've come, so we can be a part of the charting of the course going forward.
The conference provides a further learning platform for principals who in turn are expected to utilize the tools garnered in the high school setting. With urban and rural high schools experiencing contrasting challenges, the conference also allows participants to absorb different techniques used by their peers.
So you use a crucial word there, understanding. And so what it does is to put us in the mode of empathy. So you're able to empathize that our students come and they bring their whole being with them to school. In the classroom, they have not shared the challenges of home life or even the journey to school. And so as principals, when we are reminded that we need to be in attendance, in the same way we ask our students to attend school, it is more than just being physically present, but bringing your full attention, your whole being, so that you're receptive to what is being communicated, to the discussion, so you can be a full part of it. So that is what it did. It provided us an opportunity to empathize with what our students go through, as we are guilty of the same thing, just at a different level. Well, we all bring something to the table. And in order for us to transform our education system, we have to be inclusive in our approach. So everybody must have a voice. We must know what the realities are for every school, for the school in Belize City, the school in rural areas, in order for us to be truly responsive to the changes and the vision that is before us. We have to be able to appreciate what the challenges are and what they bring to the table. And so it's being as inclusive as possible and knowing that every voice counts, and it is a matter of being equal and bringing equity to the discussion.
Today's keynote speaker was Dr. Dione Chamberlain Miranda, who spoke about the prerequisite of aligning principals to the ever-changing world of technology and knowing what students expect from educators.
But what was interesting is that I'd actually done an online session for them during COVID. That was the first time I was invited. And what was really interesting to see is that I knew quite a bit of them, but not in the capacity of like at BAPS, have seen them then, not really known them. So it was interesting for me to get to know them and see where they were, but honestly, just like in regular school, classroom management, right? I think that I approach it from the awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. I'm a trained change management expert, and what we find out in life is that we expect behaviors of people, but we don't say it, we don't ask for what we want. So that is just a normal that I do in all of my sessions, because if I don't tell you what I'm expecting and I don't get it, then I get offended. And then if I tell you about it after the fact, then you get offended because you think I'm picking on you. So it's really a classroom management style to create change. And I think that all educators should do a change management course, because it really prepares you on how to communicate better, and change cannot occur where we don't have a relationship, because remember, rules without relationships lead to rebellion, and that's what happens in school. When I pick on you, I rip you apart, but I didn't tell you I was going to do it. But we're all aware what I was going to do, because I laid it out very straight. I believe that our children ought to be taught inclusivity and tolerance from within their homes, but it also has to be a part of every sector of our classrooms. The reality is that we are so broken up because of the religious denomination that runs schools. But I believe that it doesn't matter what religious denomination you're from, we have to learn healthy human respect And the world is changing, the life is changing, and I know that everybody comes with their own personal moral construct and where we are, but we have to realize that we're living on this earth. The earth doesn't live the way we want it to be. And I think that everybody has to evolve their thinking. So transformation is not only in a policy or in a procedure or in values or something that's written. That transformation has to occur in the mindset, and that is most often the most difficult. But most people tend to not include the change management side of it, which needs awareness. We need to know what is occurring. We need to have the desire. We have to have the knowledge, the ability, and the reinforcement, and realize that only where laws are affected, people take notice. In COVID, for instance, nobody would have worn a mask or washed hands and all of that had it not been enforced.
While the transformation of education is an ongoing process, advancing is important, even for teachers, says Dr. Miranda.
What I would want for our principals to realize, because being a principal is a very, very difficult job. In Belize, I'm not sure around the world because I haven't really been in those environments, but in Belize, we're getting to the point that we're having helicopter parents being disrespectful to teachers, being disrespectful to principals, going against rules, talking about human rights and all of these things. But we have to understand that these are our educational environments, and there ought to be rules and policies and procedures that govern any location that we're in. And so I believe that teachers and principals need to be protected to a large extent, because the same violence that we're seeing on the streets and the same bullying that we're seeing out there, it's being felt to teachers. And remember, these are the people who are there trying to take our children to that next level. But if they're feeling hurt and bruised and damaged, how can they really pass that on? So we really need to look at some kind of self-care and critical care for any level of public officer within the environment. We need to teach them emotional intelligence. We need to teach them change management. We need to find psychologically safe spaces for them to be in, where they're free of bullying, sexual harassment, and all of these things which are plaguing our societies. Because where you're seeing white-collar crime, it's hardly being brought up. We're only seeing what's happening in the streets. But trust me, crime is happening in classrooms, it's happening everywhere, and our people need support.
The conference continues tomorrow with a field trip to Orchid Bay Resort and ends at 2 p.m. Elmer Cornejo, CTV3 News.
For the past 3 days, 25 medical practitioners, BDF, and police personnel participate in the first Management of Sexual Assault Examination training, spearheaded by the National Forensic Science Service. The purpose of the training, according to Minister of Police Karim Musa, is to create a partnership between medical personnel and the police department when dealing with cases such as rape, which requires an element of medical training. Throughout the 3-day session, the participants covered the multifaceted aspects of trauma-informed sexual assault case management, including the survivor's perspective, patient intake and history, forensic examination, use of the sexual assault evidence collection kit, aftercare, interpreting findings, report writing, and courtroom testimony. Additionally, participants explored trauma-informed approaches that prioritize survivors' autonomy, dignity, and emotional safety, and discussed scenarios of drug-facilitated sexual assault as well as sexual assault in the elderly and mentally ill.
Yes, so what we have over the last 3 days is a training of medical practitioners, of doctors from all across the country who are attached to the Ministry of Health. There are some 26, I believe, doctors who were trained to carry out medical examinations in sexual assault cases for the purpose of being able to testify in court. And this is an extremely important exercise because in many instances, especially as far down south as PG or Corozal, there are cases where victims are not able to see a doctor, and many times a doctor may feel that they are not qualified or certified to give evidence before a court of law. And so this exercise was extremely important. It does have some legal, technical issues because they are going to be testifying in court. And so yes, the medical side, they already have that covered, but it was important to be able to give them this training so that they can help in terms of the Pace Justice program of expediting the backlog, but at the same time offering justice to many victims across the country.
Have we had successes in cases like these that require that type of expert evidence?
Yes, we have, but there is a greater need for more doctors to be trained to be able to give evidence in court. And so that is what this is, equipping 26 new doctors to be able to give evidence of this nature.
Wow. So in collaborating with the police, if there's a better collaboration coming out of it, what would that be?
Again, the police department is not trained to carry out medical examinations. Only doctors can do that. And so the officers would be the first point of contact, of course, in gathering the statement from the victim and then transferring that over to a medical practitioner who has been trained, who can then offer that type of expert evidence in court. So that is where the collaboration is.
The training saw participation by medical practitioners from across the country, including internists, pathologists, and other medical officers employed by the MOHW, Carl Kushner Memorial Hospital, BDF, and the National Forensic Science Service participated in the training. Earlier today, the University of Belize launched its Masters in Philosophy program and the Ocean Country Partnership Program Scholarship at its Belmopan campus. It is a well-received degree program, even so when UB is affixing to be more and more a research institution for students. The philosophy program is one that is peculiar to the university as it is the first program entirely led by research, one where students will not have to sit in class for long hours. Dr. Jake Snadon elaborates more.
Well, at UB, we have a history of graduate programs, but the real change here is a research-led program. Yeah. And this is the first time that we've had a degree everything about it is focused on research. And it goes along with the change that UB is having, with this emphasis on research, emphasis on the research for national development is really key to what we do across all the faculties. And so this is a degree program that you can take from any other 4 faculties, and it's led by the interest, the need for different questions being answered at the national level.
What are some of the key features of this program?
So the key features are that it's not a taught program, so it's not like you come in and you see it in classes. This is one where the students themselves drive, they drive the momentum of the program. It's student-led, so the questions that the students are asking and answering come from the students. They develop the projects. Okay, they have the supervisory team to guide them and instruct them and make sure that they're getting the right training to reach that graduate level. But the question and what they're working on, it's student-led, so it's really connected with their needs and their interests. And so we have candidates, this first cohort that we have candidates from 10 candidates from different organisations, government organisations and NGOs across Belize, where they're asking questions that are specific to those organisations and the needs for development here in the country.
What are your guests?
And although the first cohort recently enrolled in the program, Dr. Snedon is optimistic about the outcome. The end result of the class will be one of success.
The key move with this sort of a research program is looking forward to things like a PhD program, where there are bigger, multiple-year programs of research and learning. An MPhil is the starting point to that. It's both building capacity in terms of the students, but it's building capacity in terms of the university as well, and the staff and faculty that are involved with it. We're all learning.
For Andreina Acosta, forming part of the program awards her the opportunity of returning to marine field, making her a positive contributor to the welfare of our ecosystems.
Originally, I'm from San Pedro, so I grew up in a coastal community. I have
pursued my education in focusing mainly on marine biology. Unfortunately, like many of us, we have various challenges that sometimes we cannot further our education even though we want to. And when this OCPP, Ocean Country Partnership Program scholarship came across, I was actually, and still am, currently unemployed. So I was a bit hesitant to apply for the scholarship, but thankfully to my family, I had the support to actually begin applying, and I just went for it. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity. I am grateful to come back into the marine field and keep contributing to the conservation of marine ecosystems. My study focuses mainly on microplastics in seagrass beds, and basically what I am trying to look for is to establish an abundance of microplastics in these seagrass beds, and essentially I want to establish a correlation on how these microplastics are affecting seagrass ecosystems. Seagrass ecosystems are one of the ecosystems that are very undermined, not only in Belize, worldwide, but I also want to emphasize their importance in Belize, and so that we can move forward into understanding the level of plastic pollutions that we are experiencing in coastal communities, as well as what is the important role these ecosystems play. But there is not a great emphasis placed on how these plastics are degrading and forming really tiny particles that are eventually coming into our ecosystems. And research is also showing that these microplastics can eventually come into the food chains.
The program is a collaboration between the University of Belize and the UK International Development, together with the Association of Commonwealth Universities. As part of the European Union-funded Peace Justice Project, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, the Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, MOHW, over 25 medical practitioners, including personnel from the Belize Defense Force, BDF, and the Belize Police Department, participated in a 3-day training on the management of sexual assault examination. According to the Belize Crime Observatory, BCO, there has been a 5% increase in major crimes in Belize, including rape, which has increased in reports by 41.7% in 2023, with 98.8% of sexual violence victims being women. As the first of its kind training course, the course was a reminder of the importance of prioritizing initiatives that create tangible change. Throughout the 3-day session, the participants covered the multifaceted aspects of trauma-informed sexual assault case management, including the survivor's perspective, patient intake and history, forensic examination, use of the sexual assault evidence collection kit, aftercare, interpreting findings, report writing, and courtroom testimony. Additionally, participants explored trauma-informed approaches that prioritize survivors' autonomy. A portion of the agenda also involved participation by investigators from the Domestic Violence Unit of the Belize Police Department. Upon completion of the course, participants received course completion certificates as trained personnel in the management of sexual assault. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, April 19th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3NewsBZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.